called. I'm sorry. I'm going too far. Right here, behind you. All right, and we're going to go to Acts 9 through 10. We want Acts 9 through 10. You want Acts 9 through 10? All right, here we go. Isaiah 43, 18 through 19. Y'all see that typo up there, right? Act like you don't see. Okay, brother.
Isaiah 43:18, verses 18 and 19. It reads, "Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland."
All right, next reader, Romans 12:2.
Amen. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will.
Matthew 9, 16 through 17. Go ahead and stand up with her. That's good. I like that. He stood up with his wife.
No one sews a patch of unshrunk cloth on an old garment, for the patch will pull away from the garment, making the tear worse. Neither do people pour new wine into old wineskins. If they do, the skins will burst. The wine will run out, and the wineskin will be ruined. No, they pour new wine into new wineskins, and both are preserved.
Acts 10, 9 through 20. Take your time.
The next day, as Cornelius' messengers,
Put that mic closer to you.
the next day, as Cornelius' messengers were nearing town, Peter went up on the flat roof to pray. It was about noon, and he was hungry. But while a meal was being prepared, he fell into a trance. He saw the sky open, and something like a large sheet was let down by the four corners. In the sheet were all sorts of animals, reptiles, and birds. Then a voice said to him, "Get up, Peter, kill and eat them." "No, Lord," Peter declared. "I have never eaten anything that our Jewish laws have declared impure and unclean." But the voice spoke again, "Do not call something unclean if God has made it clean." The same vision was repeated 3 times. Then the sheet was suddenly pulled up to heaven. Peter was very perplexed. What could the vision mean? Just then, the men sent by Cornelius found Simon's house standing outside the gate. They asked if a man named Simon Peter was staying there. Meanwhile, as Peter was puzzling over the vision, the Holy Spirit said to him, 3 men have come looking for you. Get up, go downstairs, and go with them without hesitation. Don't worry, for I have sent them." So Peter went down and said, "I am the man you are looking for. Why have you come?" They said, "We were sent by Cornelius, a Roman officer. He is a devout and God-fearing man, well respected by all the Jews. A holy angel instructed him to summon you to his house so that he can hear your message." So Peter invited the men to stay for the night. The next day, he went with them, accompanied by some of the brothers from Joppa. They arrived to, y'all know I'll be making up my own words now, Caesarea. The following day, Cornelius was waiting for them and had called together his relatives and close friends. As Peter entered his home, Cornelius fell at his feet and worshiped him. But Peter pulled him up and said, "Stand up. I'm a human being just like you." So they talked together and went inside where many others were assembled. Peter told him, "You know it's against our laws for a Jewish man to enter into a Gentile home like this or to associate with you. But God has shown me that I should no longer think of anyone as impure or unclean, so I came without objection as soon as I was sent for. Now tell me why you sent for me." Cornelius replied, 4 days ago I was praying in my house about this same time, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Suddenly a man is in dazzling clothes standing in front of me. He told me, "Cornelius, your prayer has been heard, and your gifts to the poor have been noticed by God. Now send message to Joppa and summon a man named Simon Peter. He is staying in the home of Simon, a tanner who lives near the seashore. So I sent for you at once, and it was good of you to come. Now we are all here waiting before God. Hear the message the Lord has given you."
Ecclesiastes 9:10. Ecclesiastes 9:10. Let's get somebody to read that. Ecclesiastes 9:10. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Ecclesiastes 9 and 10. Enjoy life with your beloved wife, all the days of the fleeting life that God has given you under the sun, all your fleeting days. For this is your portion in life and in your labor under the sun. Whatever you find to do with your hands, do with all your might. For in Sheol, where you are going, there is no work or planning or knowledge or wisdom.
James 2:17. Microphone. Mic.
In the same way, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead.
You just read a lot of scriptures saying a lot of things. And it concluded with whatever it was saying, you telling you got faith, but if you're not putting your faith to work, it's dead. Now now, because I want to talk to you today for a few moments, innovation or stagnation. Which direction is your faith taking? You know, last 2 weeks I've been talking about fishing, and then I talked about cleaning the fish. So if you're not fishing, if you're not cleaning the fish, you're stagnated, which means your faith is, come on, talk back to me. There ain't no sense in you getting it. You got to work with this, because I'm trying to help you be a better follower of Christ. So let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you because you are the God who never changes. Yet you are always doing new things. We confess too often we become comfortable in old routines, old traditions, old hurts, and old ways of thinking. Forgive us for allowing stagnation to replace faith, fear to replace courage, and comfort to replace obedience. Today, breathe fresh life into your church. Revive our communities. Heal our nation. Give us innovation without compromising your truth. Help us become fishers of people, disciple makers, justice seekers, and ambassadors of Christ. Bless America. Florida, Jacksonville, our elected officials, first responders, teachers, churches, hospitals, grieving families, union workers, the unemployed, and those struggling with addiction, depression, and hopelessness. Let revival begin in us. In Jesus' name, all of God's people said, amen. One of the greatest enemies of God's people is not persecution. All of us, in some way, some shape, some form, at some time in your life, you have been persecuted for something you don't know anything about or something you haven't done. I will clearly tell you that those who are running for office get persecuted in many different ways. Those who are leaders and trying to lead people get persecuted in many different ways. Your heart is right, but people not God, so they can't look inside your heart. They're only looking on the outside, trying to determine and trying to judge who you are and what you're trying to do. One of the greatest enemies of God, people, is not persecution. It is stagnation. Stagnant water becomes polluted. Stagnant churches loses its witness. A stagnant believer loses its joy, his joy, or her joy. Stagnant nation loses its moral compass. That's why things are so immoral in America today, because of the stagnation of the nation. They claim in Christ. They just claim in Christ. Somebody will talk back to me there. And therefore, many churches today are maintaining buildings but not making disciples. See, you can't be in the building and don't be about making disciples. Because if you're not making disciples, you would become stagnated. You're comfortable in your seat. You're comfortable in your position. You're comfortable in what you're doing. And God's saying that's not what he wants you to do. Somebody talk back to me here. Many believers know the Bible verses, but have stopped changing lives. Yeah. You know the verses. You know what it says, but how many lives you're changing? How many times you are witnessing to other people, and that's where Romans 12:2 can be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. You know, in the text, many communities keep talking about problems while God is calling us to become part of the solution. We got all kind of problems. Labor problems, economic problems, social problems. We got all kind of problems, but what are you doing to come up with a solution? We know that the system is against us. That's nothing new. It's been that way but we're resilient people. We are still overcomers. And what happened when we overcome, everybody get to overcome with us. So we can't become stagnated. We must keep the fight and keep the hope alive. So Isaiah reminds Israel, because they have become stagnant, forget the former things, I'm doing a new thing. You got people been in positions for decades, and they they just stagnated. They don't have anything else to offer, and don't want nobody else to take their place. They just stagnated. That's because, and it's not their fault. You get a certain age. I'm glad, thank God, I'm up in age, but thank God I'm able to change. Thank God I'm looking for new things. Thank God I want to be innovative. But some people, they get to a certain point, they're comfortable, don't want to do anything else, don't want to mess their assignment up, and not concerned about anybody else. So you have to confront them. You have to have a conversation with them. You have to tell them, look, we understand, but you got to put somebody there to try and help you. I'm looking for a young pastor, but I told y'all I have a problem with these millennials because they're so hard-headed. And every pastor I talk to say the same thing. They know everything. You can't tell them nothing. They've been everywhere. and ain't been nowhere. Some of them ain't been out of the city of Jacksonville. You got people sitting in this church who are professional teachers or retired professional nurses. You got an engineer who used to drive trains. You got people in here dealing with millions and millions of dollars with money on a daily basis, and they know everything. So here it is. Forget the former things. I'm doing a new thing. And therefore, God was not changing his character. He was changing his methods. So you have to change your methods. You got to get over this thing about the way people dress to come to church. After a while, they'll get it together. They'll come in and keep looking around. They'll say, man, I feel kind of out of place. My stuff don't look right. But don't get on them so much about it. And I tell you this, the Bible says we must come dressed modest. Be modest. Modest in your dressing. Moderate. That's what term I'm trying to use. And the way you dress. And you should be. Here's the problem. And I'm talking about somebody said to me, say, Pastor, this morning, I like the way that outfit look on you. Well, I'm glad they do. Say, I love you for being my pastor. See, are you looking at this? And I know they weren't really, they were just saying, but you're looking at the outside. What about the inside? People can say what they want to. They can say all they want to say. They know I love people. They know I'm concerned about people. You know I'm concerned about you. Even when you get mad at me, I still love you. Even when you talk about me, I still love you. Because you can't change my heart towards you. Here, he was changing his method, the message, but the message never changed. The mission never changes. Now, we may change how we go fishing. We may change the method, but we got to stay focused on the mission. But sometimes the methods must change if we are going to reach a changing world. Jesus was good at that. If he was with the farmers, he gave a parable about farming. If he was with the fishermen, he gave a parable about the fishermen. If he was talking about the son who had left home, he gave a parable about the lost son. He gave a parable about if you lost your money, he gave a parable about the lost coin. He adjusted to the situation. He adjusted to the culture. They got mad at him because he was feeding people, feeding on a Sunday. He said, oh my God, you got to eat. Somebody did say that. You got to eat. You got to go to work on Monday and your parents told you don't wash clothes on Sunday. But if you haven't had a chance to wash your clothes Monday through Saturday, you got to keep the roof over your head, don't you? You got to pay that car note, don't you? And you're not going to go to work smelling all kind of ways, I pray not. So point one. That's where I'm at right now. I got point one. Fine. Point one. God calls us from comfort to creativity. Isaiah 43:19 said, behold, I will do a new thing. Innovation always begins with God's vision. You got to let God's vision lead the way. Throughout Scripture, God continually called people to move. Noah built something never seen. Moses confronted Pharaoh. David fought differently than Saul. David and Jesus chose fishermen instead of religious elites. And therefore, the early church left Jerusalem and took the gospel around the world. So faith is movement, not stagnation. Okay, I come to church, I believe in God, I come to church, I go back home, I pay my tithes, I pay my offering, and that's it. That's dead faith if it's not moving. Stagnation is standing still while pretending to be faithful. Say it again, because I don't think you got it. Stagnation is standing still while pretending to be faithful. Here's the neighborhood term, perpetrating a fraud. I figure y'all could catch that one. From the social justice lens, catch it now. The church cannot expect communities to change if the church refuses to change. When poverty grows, you got to be innovative. When violence increases, you got to be innovative. When young people leave the church, you got to be innovative to bring them back. Not changing the gospel, just changing our approach. Sister Gundy was with me this morning. And I didn't know, but there was a gentleman who I know. My daily stop is normally at Dunkin's. Y'all know it, right? And I get a hot black coffee and a Splenda on the side. I want half of the Splenda in there, and I don't want no more. I want to stir it up. I want to open the container up so it can kind of cool down so that by the time I get to the church on Sunday morning, Deacon Billy, I can drink it. But this morning, there was a brother who I know, you go there sometime, he sits in there, he's a Jaguar fan. He wherever the Jaguars go, he go to the Jaguar games, or they go to Denver, he in Denver with him, right? So I know him. He's a retired veteran, he's a disabled veteran, right? And I know he can't hardly move sometimes. He's just sitting and don't do stuff. And so I had my card, because see, I'm fishing for him. I'm fishing for him. And I never bothered him about coming to church or anything. So this morning, I took out my card, and he was sitting in the truck. He need to get out of there because, you know, his bones is aching. And I called him, I pulled up and I called him to my truck. I wanted him to get out. He looked at me first because his eyes is kind of bad. And then he said, "Oh, Pastor, you should have seen him getting out the truck so he could get to me." And I gave him the card. Sister Gundy said, "Oh, why you had the man to get out the truck instead of you taking the car to the truck?" Now, she was partially right, but she didn't know him like I knew him. I wanted him to come, okay? Because I had already knew who he was and talking to him. It wasn't a bad thing, except I'm beginning to start fishing for him. I'm trying to bait the hook. So I gave him a card, and I said, "Now listen, I want you to call me because I want to talk to you." That's all I said. Just call me so I can talk to you. Yeah. I want to, sometime before you can hook a fish, especially a human fish, you got to build a relationship with them. And I've been working on him not for a month, but for over a year. Now that lady that I told y'all about, she don't know it yet. But there's a lady that sits there. I'm almost through. You got to be innovative in how I do it. There's a lady that sits there in the same place. I don't care what time of morning I go there. She in the wheelchair. She got this sign. You know who I'm talking about. But she got this guy that coming up with her, got this cowboy hat on. He riding the bicycle. She's sitting in a wheelchair, and they got dogs with them. But she doing pretty good because she don't move. So somebody giving her something. You understand what I'm saying? But I told y'all about it before. I won't give her money. But I did go to her and I talked to her. I said, why you out here like this all the time? So she started telling me her story a little bit. Next time I go back, I'm going to give her my card now. Say, call me. I think you can do better than this. See, you don't have to rush it. You just have to be innovative in your approach. Whatever you're comfortable with, be innovative in that as you approach people. That's important. So then, God said, change your approach. What new ministry is God calling me to begin? Somebody has talked about doing ministries around here. When you gonna start it? Who have I ignored? I guess now I got to keep tennis shoes in my truck of different sizes. There was a lady that walked across the truck this morning. I'm almost through. There was a lady walking across the truck this morning, in front of the truck this morning, and it was obvious that she was homeless. And that heart that Sister Gundy got, she say, baby, come on across the street and stuff like that. She got that. It's your day, Sister Gundy. Now, when I get in the truck, boy, but she was, but the young lady got on the other side of the street, and her tennis shoe came off, and it was so. She said, "I wish I had some tennis shoes that I could have given her." Now, imagine if we had some tennis shoes of different size in there, and we gave her the pair of tennis shoes and gave her the card too. So if you're in a ministry, I want to have you to get cards with your name on it and your church name on it. And if you're not comfortable giving your cell phone out, men, don't you do that. And give no female your card. Give them the church number and have them to call and ask for you. And ladies, don't you get a card and give that to no man. And some man call your house and your husband say, "Who calling you?" Don't do that. Give them the church phone number and have them and say when they call, they don't get an answer, leave their name and then you call them back. That's being innovative. Now. What gifts do you have that you buried? If you know you like cooking, why aren't you working in the culinary ministry? If you know you like baking, why you aren't baking something for the... If you like flipping pancakes, there's a thing called, Brother Stafford, called Pancakes to the Poles. Yeah, they want to come here Saturday and he just want to cook some pancakes and have a meeting. Pancakes to the union. We talking about souls to the poles. My brothers about took that from us. They got that. Now they have the souls to the poles. What about park to the poles? You have a cookout in the park and take them to the poles. What about a cookout for the union in the park and take them to memberships? I'm just saying to you, you have to be creative in what you do. We can't do it the way we used to do it. Now Keisha has a great dance ministry, a great dance company and all of that. She's been doing it for well over 20 years. But I guarantee you that Keisha don't do things the exact same way she used to do it. You can't do it. Kids change, parents change, people change. So you have to change with the time. Point 2. Yeah, 11 o'clock. Y'all supposed to be going home. Stagnation produces spiritual decay. What does that mean? James 2:17. He said, faith without works is what? So, I'm just teaching. Dead faith never moves. It never moves. It sit in the same place, doing the same thing, thinking the same way, acting the same way. That's dead faith. Dead faith only remembers the good old days. Yeah, I hear you, Marcus. I saw you shake your head on there. The good old days. I remember, Brother Beach, the good old days. And that's all I can do is remember them. Because I certainly can't go do it no more. There was a, you know, I'm telling on myself, you know. There was a club on the corner of Atlantic Boulevard and, no, I know about that one. You talking about, yeah, I know about that one. But there was a club on Atlantic Boulevard. No, I know about that one. No, it's going to Jacksonville Beach. It's on Atlantic Boulevard, and then you turn to go down towards Mayport Road. Right down the corner. Ooh. Bro Rice, D. Rice, he remember that one. And I don't know about Bro T back there, but I was in there and I went by myself. I ain't calling no name. But I went by myself. Remembering the old. And I'm celebrating it in my mind, thinking about it. Back then, I could dance. Oh, I could dance. And somebody said to me, I didn't know you could dance like that. I was woo-woo-wooing. I'm talking about remembering the old days. But, Lord help me, Jesus. Dead faith only remember the good old days. The religious leaders criticized Jesus because he did ministry differently. Jesus replied in Matthew 9:17, new wine must be put into new wineskins. So you have to change and be innovative in order to be successful in what you're trying to do. Now, I can still dance, but I can't dance like I used to. Them old bones, boy. Then I got to rub myself down the next day. You can't put but you can put new wine in your mind. And put it into that and change the way you think. Because that's the understanding of the text. You can't think the way you used to think. You got to think differently. Now, Julius, I know you got strong, I got 9 minutes. I know you got strong shoulders and strong arms. You have to. Because you push that wheelchair all over the city, man. You be out there in that hot sun. I don't know how you do it, but you be out there. But imagine now, if you put this down and pick up what I'm talking about today, and you had a card, how many people you could evangelize and change their lives because you changed yours. See, it don't matter what condition you're in. Okay, God can use anybody to do anything he wants to have done. So communities decline when churches stop serving outside the sanctuary. It is my commitment to try and help reorganize labor unions in Jacksonville now. These people are taking everything. Back in the years when we helped organize SEIU for the bus drivers, Head Start got mad at me because I helped organize the union for Head Start. And now they want to say if 60% of the people are not in the union, they got to vote whether they want to. Man, this thing is a mess. It's designed to oppress people. It's designed to put people back. It's designed to make them poor. It's designed to keep them from being protected. Very much so. They want to discourage people. But the churches have to go outside these walls. These young people hear about you, but they want to see you. That's why I'm going today. I'm honored. I feel honored to go to Memorial Park and speak about Lewis tonight. I have an award sitting in there, a congressional award sitting in there right now that he gave me. These young people pay attention to who's doing what in Jacksonville. And it's gotten to the point I don't have to do anything, because when they need, they just call because they know what we're capable of doing. They know what you do as a church. So, justice is not merely preaching, Gundy. Justice is feeding. Justice is mentoring. Justice is educating. That's why we're trying to put educating about society, education in the mind. That's why we're trying to put the school in here. We got to go back to put new wine in new skin. We got to go back. In order to help our community, we got to start down here and work it back up. Justice is advocating. Justice is loving. For instance, now how many people here are against crime? Raise your hand. If you're against crime. Good, good, good. How many of you complain about crime? That's good. That's good. I commend you for that. We cannot simply complain. The church cannot simply complain about crime and don't do anything about it. The church cannot be silent about these young people and what they're doing in the community. Killing babies. Killing mothers. That stuff is in the Bible. Killing parents. Parents killing kids. Shooting police officers. Hunting people down like they dogs in the street and shooting them down. The church cannot be silent about that. And especially the black church. Now, I'm telling you now, I'm absolutely against the police department abusing people. Y'all know that. I'm absolutely against them doing things wrong. But I'm also absolutely against crime being committed and they don't go to jail for doing it. I am a Florida Star advocate. If you do the crime, you should do the... So we cannot simply criticize the government. We got to make a change. That means you need to take your little bodies to the polls and vote. You do not get a change if you don't vote. And if you haven't registered to vote by tomorrow, you won't be able to vote in this upcoming primary. But please don't tell me you have not registered to vote. Just keep that to yourself. Because you will not like what will come out of my mouth. It would be good. It would be good. But you just won't like the way I say the good. But I'm going to tell you this. Anybody who don't vote, you ought to be absolutely ashamed of yourself. Because your ancestors died for you to be able to vote. So the church is supposed to be able to influence the culture. And that culture includes everything that exists in the culture. What ministries have become routine instead of revolutionary. We must be revolutionary about our ministry. Finally, I close. Innovation always advances the kingdom. Peter believed, remember that text she's reading about Peter? Peter believed salvation belonged mainly to the Jews. That's how Peter was. Man, I ain't thinking about no Gentile. And Peter didn't like God had sent him to the Gentile. He didn't like that. But he believed salvation belonged mainly to the Jews. God gave him a vision. And guess what Peter did? He resisted. But God insisted. Who gonna win? So innovation opened the gospel to the Gentile world. Imagine if Peter had refused. Millions, including us, might never have heard the gospel. That's how serious that was. Imagine if Peter had refused. And innovation is often uncomfortable before it becomes transformational. Some things are just uncomfortable. So I close. Spiritual application here. Innovation may mean using technology in the church. That's innovation. Innovation may mean mentoring younger leaders. Now, Brother Eric, how old are you? How? Huh? 47. I'm going to say 3 things to you. If you don't know Christ, I want you to know Christ in your life first and foremost. Second of all, I want you to allow me to mentor to you and give you everything I have so you can run with the mission when we all gone. Third of all, I want to help teach you how to help organize other people to achieve what you want to achieve in that labor union. Now, that's putting new wine. I'm old skin. I'm putting new wine in fresh skin. But it's up to you if you want that. And then you got to go and you got to do the same thing for other young people or people you got influence on and say, now listen, I want to put what I got in me. I want to sit at the table and I want to be able to tell you everything I got. Now here's why. Because I'm going to cook. A young man who I mentored when he first became a teacher in Duval County, back in 1995. His name is Kevin, the same young man that's back here in the building. Kevin called me yesterday and he said, Pastor, just let me pray with you. And he started praying over me, over the phone. And he said, now here's what I want you to do. He said, you've done a lot to help a lot of people. That boy was praying. How do you know that boy could pray like that? And he said, here's what I want you to do now. I want you to sit still and let the resources come to you. And then you pour out in the resources that come to you what they need to do to be successful. He said, you hear what I'm saying? He never talked to me like that because he always respect me. He said, you hear what I'm saying, Pastor? I want you to just sit still and see what God's going to send to you to help you do what you want to do. Now, that's hard for me to do. Well, I'm being honest. Y'all know me. I'm like the ever-ready battery. Boy, I'm always. But I need to wait. I need to do for a young man, he in his 40s like him, 50s like him, tell me that. We don't necessarily have to plant more ministries in the church, but we got to make the ministries that we have work. They got to work. Now, I've been praying for the youth choir to get back in place. So let's see what happens when the new musician come back starting next week. He already know. So I just got to wait on him. That young man got some stuff in him that remind me a lot of Rakis. Y'all haven't seen him, but he just know. He pick up on stuff and he go with it. Music, hymns, anything you need, he has it. And we got to embrace community partners. Now, I'm not going to tell you about it this Sunday because I got to talk to the trustees tomorrow. But somebody came to me, a community partner. I talked with the board this morning and asked me if I would do something, and they wanted to bring something to me, to us. So when I talk to them tomorrow, if they say yes, then I'll run with it. And it is a true blessing for all the hard work that y'all been doing over the years. I just don't want you to get stagnated and stay that way. You got to get invigorated. And choir members, I know you wore out, but you've been doing a wonderful job. Just keep singing. But what I think is that there's some of you out here who can sing, and for some reason, you just got dead faith. Because if you can sing, then you'd be in the choir. You find every excuse to do everything you want to do. But when it comes to serving God the way you know he should be served, I guess I don't need to say anymore. So stagnation versus innovation. So where is God asking me to step into unfamiliar territory? The big idea, it's 11 o'clock. Innovation without biblical truth becomes compromise. Tradition without innovation becomes stagnation. And God desires biblical faithfulness with spirit-led creativity. Two farmers. This is my last illustration. I'm open to go to church. Two farmers own neighboring land. The first farmer planted the same crops every year, never improved the soil, never learned new methods, and refused advice. The second farmer prayed, studied, learned, rotated his crops, invested wisely, and adapted to the changing conditions while respecting the land. Years later, one field was dry and never barren, and nearly barren. The other was flourishing. The difference wasn't the soil. The difference was the willingness to grow. Many believers have God's promises but refuse God's process. You want the promise, but you got to go through the process to get the promise. And if you're unwilling to go through the processes, you can't get the promise. Keisha, I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm just putting it out there. We had one of the greatest dance ministries in the city in this church. If we don't get anything else, we need your advice. We need your mentoring on how to put it back together. Because the young kids keep saying to me, Pastor, I want to dance. Pastor, I want to mime. You have that ability to do that. You have that ability to talk to kids and just tell us this is what we need to do to make it happen. Then how do we filter those kids to your program? Because when we open the school, and it's going to be open, by the way, when we open the school, if we got any doubters in here, please get that out your mind, get that out your heart, get that out your spirit, and pray tonight that it open up. Those kids, we should send to you, or you should come to them, and we should be paying you to teach them how to dance. That's community partnership. That's reaching out for a change. Say, I ain't doing all that hooping and hollering. I'm teaching this thing here. This is just too important. God is asking today, will you remain comfortable or become useful? That's all he's saying. Will you remain stagnant or become innovative? Will you preserve tradition or advance the kingdom? How many of you have family reunion? How many of you actually sponsor the family reunion yourself and get wore out with it? So when are you going to turn it over to the young people? If they won't take it, guess what? You don't take it, I ain't going to do it. If you don't do it, they're going to do something. Because they're going to want some mama sweet potato pie. They want some banana pudding. Mama, we're not having a family reunion. No. If you want the family reunion, I need you to go do this. I need you to go do that. I need you to get the pop. You got to turn it over. And don't let them make you feel bad because you refuse to do it. They're going to say, well, mama, if you don't do it or dad, you don't do it, it's going to die. Well, I'm going to die anyway. So if I die, what you gonna do then? Will you preserve tradition or advance the kingdom? Can I tell you what I discovered? The same God who opened the Red Sea is still opening doors today. Who raised Lazarus can resurrect a dying church. The same God who turned fishermen into apostles can turn ordinary believers into a world changer. Somebody has been sitting too long. Somebody has been waiting too long. Somebody has been saying that's just the way we've always done it. But he said, behold, I'm doing a new thing. You have an opportunity today